By the way, like how I've balanced the frame? Guys, welcome back to my hotel room where I'm staying before going to my high school reunion, which is 25 years, except that I'm actually staying after, technically, because I won't be in the hotel room during the reunion. It's just a technicality. So by the time you're seeing this, of course, it'll be over, but I wanted to make this video about the movies that I saw for the first time in September. And that's why this video is called WIS, in case you're new here. What I've seen, what I've skipped. Movies I saw for the first time on DVD, movies I saw for the first time in the theater, and a movie or two that I skipped in the theater because reasons. I don't know how that expression started, but I'll get to it. So anyway, movies I saw on DVD for the first time. Louder Than Bombs. Drama. It's directed by Joachim Trier, I think that's how you say it. Anyway, Jesse Eisenberg is one of the main characters in this. Not familiar with the director. Criminal. Action thriller with Kevin Costner, Gary Oldman, Tommy Lee Jones. Costner is this very, very psychotic guy who gets the memories from a government agent, covert agent, played by Ryan Reynolds, injected into his head so he can complete the mission. It's directed by Ariel Vroman, who did The Iceman with Michael Shannon and Winona Ryder. High Rise, based on the J.G. Ballard novel. It takes place in the 70s in this newfangled technological wonder of a high-rise apartment building that was designed and run by excuse me, Jeremy Irons. The main character is played by Tom Hiddleston as he deals with all the people that go to war basically with each other in this building. All the different class systems and everything like that. You know, banning people from the pool and things like that. And there's revolution in the air, all within one single building. It's directed by Ben Wheatley. Gavin Hood directed kind of a thriller called Eye in the Sky. Gavin Hood, of course, did X-Men Origins Wolverine and Rendition. And this is about basically a military operation to observe terror suspects in the Middle East and possibly to prevent a suicide bombing. They've got Aaron Paul, basically, who's piloting the drone. You've got Helen Mirren, who's in the control room, directing the mission. You've got Alan Rickman and a few other people who are part of the political system in England who are overseeing the operation and trying to figure out exactly what they're legally and morally permitted to do given what they observe. The Trust. The Trust is a comedic thriller with Nicolas Cage and Elijah Wood. There are a couple of cops who find out about this location where there's a safe and possibly a lot of valuable stuff, and so they plan a heist. That's a fun film. Let's see, Mr. Right. Mr. Right is a comedy with Sam Rockwell, an actor I just adore to death. He is a hitman who changes his policy to kill the people who hire him rather than the people whom the guys want him to hire him, want him to kill. See how that works? Instead of them saying, here's some money, go kill that guy. And the guy's like, well, you're a bad person because you want somebody dead, so I'm just going to kill you instead. That's how he does his business. Anna Kendrick is in this movie as well as a socially awkward person who he strikes up a relationship with. There's some weird stuff going on in there. It's directed by Paco Cabezas. Yeah, sorry, Paco Cabezas. I'm not familiar with him. One director I am really familiar with is Renny Harlin. Renny Harlin had a movie come out in theaters last month, and so I took the opportunity not only to see that, but to catch up on a film that he did 10 years ago that I hadn't seen up to that point called The Covenant, which Sebastian Stan and Laura Ramsey and a few other semi-recognizable people starred in as kids in a private school, some of whom have warlock powers. Renny Harlin, of course, is the director of such 90s classics as Cutthroat Island, The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, Long Kiss Goodnight, and, by the way, Die Hard 2 as well, one of the better Die Hard sequels. Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping, which is the comedic fake documentary by the Lonely Island guys. Andy Samberg, of course, plays the main character. The other guys in his former boy band are actually the other members of Lonely Island and the directors of the film, Akiva Schaffer and Jorma Taccone. I think that's how you say their names. Basically, he's an incredibly self-deluded pop star named Connor for real, and basically it's about his the terrible person that he is, and how he learns to be a better person while still being incredibly self-deluded about his talent. The Driftless Area, which is a kind of a thriller with Zachary Slusser directing. I think that's how you say his name, Slusser. Anyway, the main character is Anton Yelchin, who comes across a great deal of stolen money, and there's some criminal types, including John Hawkes, who are after him to get it back. Zooey Deschanel is also in this movie. Jane Wants a Boyfriend, which is drama with Eliza Dushku, and her younger sister basically has mild autism, Asperger's syndrome, and when they find out that their parents are basically going to be moving from New York to New Jersey, they want Eliza Dushku to take her sister in and to live in their apartment with her fiance rather than stay with the parents, which is a real problem for Eliza Dushku because she has a social life and she doesn't want to be looking after her sister all the time. Now You See Me Too. I got caught up on the first Now You See Me, which I saw in the theaters. I didn't see this one in the theaters, so I just saw it now. John M. Chu is the director, of course. Most of the main cast return. Jesse Eisenberg again. Darn it, I'm blanking on this person's name. She's in Masters of Sex. Lizzie Kaplan, right, Lizzie Kaplan. Replaces Isla Fisher, because Isla Fisher couldn't do the new movie. Woody Harrelson and Dave Franco and Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, they're all back. And Money Monster. Money Monster was Jodie Foster's real-time thriller about a guy who takes a television host hostage, host of a financial show, George Clooney, and Julia Roberts is the director who runs the program, and Jack O'Connell, of course, plays the guy who is holding everyone hostage, demanding why the incredible stock tip which George Clooney touted on his show resulted in this massive loss for a huge number of people. So that's what I saw on DVD. Those last two, of course, just came out earlier this summer, and they're already on DVD, of course. So movies I saw in the theater. Southside with You, which is a dramatization of the first date between Barack Obama and Michelle Robinson, back when they were both working at the same law firm. It's directed by Richard Taney. Snowden, Oliver Stone's movie about Edward Snowden. He's played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, with Shailene Woodley as his longtime girlfriend and a lot of other noteworthy people in the cast. Sully, directed by Clint Eastwood, which has Tom Hanks basically playing Captain Sullenberger, who landed the plane successfully in the Hudson River and saved everyone on board after catastrophic engine failure after a bird strike, took out both of their engines. Aaron Eckhart is also in the movie as well as his first officer. And Deepwater Horizon, Peter Berg directed this movie. Peter Berg, of course, is an actor who's also done, Lone Survivor and Battleship and Friday Night Lights and The Kingdom, a few other action thrillers. This one, of course, is a dramatization about the disaster on the oil rig in 2010. Mark Wahlberg is the main character. John Malkovich, Kurt Russell, Kate Hudson, Gina Rodriguez from Jane the Virgin, they're all in it. And The Magnificent Seven, Antoine Fuqua's remake with Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke, Chris Pratt, Vincent D'Onofrio, a few other people, Haley Bennett, who's also in the new movie with Emily Blunt, Girl on the Train. So that's what I saw in the theaters. A couple movies that I didn't see in the theaters, but would have, given my greater enthusiasm or drive, I guess you could say. Morgan, the sci-fi thriller with Anya Taylor-Joy from The Witch as the genetically engineered girl, basically, who lashes out at the scientists that are observing her. Kate Mara and Paul Giamatti are in that, as well as a few other people. London Road, a musical, only played in one theater in the whole city. So I missed it. Unfortunately, it only played for like a week. I missed out on it. And The Light Between Oceans, which is Derek Cinerance's new film. Derek Cineranце did a movie that I really loved in 2013 called The Place Beyond the Pines. And this one had Michael Fassbender and Alicia Vikander as a couple who are overseeing a lighthouse. They live by themselves, basically, and then a baby washes up in a boat, and they start to take care of it because they don't have a child of their own, and then Rachel Weisz comes along saying, hey, I'm looking for my baby, and they're like, oh no, we want to keep the baby, we have to give it back, but we want to keep it. Those are 3 movies that I didn't end up seeing. Too bad. The Light Between the Oceans, it's only been a month since the movie came out, it's already gone. Can't see it anywhere, so I'm going to have to wait for a video on that one. So movies that I liked. Snowden was good, Sully was good, Magnificent Seven was fun. Mostly just, I could take it or leave it, really. It's not super significant. The movie that I really liked a lot, though, was Deepwater Horizon, which surprised me, because this is actually the first time I'd ever seen a Peter Berg movie in the theater. I've seen a bunch of them at home, but not in the theater, and it was super, super intense. John Malkovich doesn't have the best Southern accent. He could have just, used his normal voice. But aside from that, no complaints about that movie. It's all really, really intense film. A whole extended sequence when when the disaster first strikes, that's oil spewing all over the place, and then there's a fire, and there's this huge pressure explosion, and oh man, it's really something else. So as far as the movies that I saw on DVD, Jane Wants a Boyfriend, that one I liked. Driftless Area, not so much. Yeah, Mr. Right was okay. It was funny, but not a great movie. I mostly like the actors in it. It has a weird sort of like Matrix-y kind of thing whereby Sam Rockwell's like, I don't know, psychically connected to like all the people around him, and so he can anticipate movements or something like that. And then Anna Kendrick discovers she has like the same power or something like that. It's weird. I don't get it really. But they made it fun. And The Trust. The Trust is a movie that I thought was a lot of fun and surprising in a lot of different ways. So that one I would recommend. Eye in the Sky I would recommend. High Rise was interesting. I didn't love it, but it was interesting. Criminal, I would say skip it. It's kind of worthless. I figured it would be, but I was just curious to see it. Louder Than Bombs was okay. So the ones I'd really recommend would be Eye in the Sky and The Trust. And Jane Wants a Boyfriend from the DVDs I saw, and Deepwater Horizon from the theatrical movies I saw. So, yeah, just wanted to do these a little differently, of course, from the last time I did these videos back in July. Really went on for too long, so I just thought I'd sum up what I saw and then talk about a few in particular. So thank you very much for watching, and I am, of course, on my way towards my 10-year anniversary here on YouTube, and I'll be making some special videos over the next 4 weeks. I hope you tune in for that. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.